So one of the most common questions you'd actually encounter as you interview for a systems administrator or IT support engineer would always be around networking. For example, wireless networking. And these are the kind of questions you simply have to prepare for in terms of your technical aptitude in order for you to answer them correctly. You might get a question such as, a user reports that their PC or laptop isn't able to connect their Wi-Fi network. What would be the process of troubleshooting such a problem? Now, in this particular case, the interviewer simply wants to understand your process of troubleshooting as opposed to you just throwing answers out there, so to say. And when you get this kind of a question, it's actually an opportunity for you to prove how much you understand the process as opposed to just rushing through. For example, you could begin by asking questions such as, when last was the user able to connect? Are there other devices on the same network that are able to connect? And if that's the only device that is unable to connect, then you isolate that device. You could begin looking at maybe doing a loopback test to see what the network configurations or settings are like. And when you get past that stage, instead of you going ahead and say, hey, let's restart the device, you could look at restarting the wireless adapter. Now, that simply shows that you understand that sometimes it's not about restarting the entire device, but targeting the root cause of that particular problem. And the two ways I'm going to walk you through in terms of how you could go about restarting the wireless adapter, either by using your graphic user interface or by doing it from your network shell. Let's dive right in. Okay, so if you look at my PC right now, you'd notice that at the very bottom of my right-hand side, I do not have any network connection. And if I click on that feature over there, it doesn't really appear to be helpful in giving me options as far as getting the right full network connection, etc. And it will continue actually disregarding this particular network connection each and every time I try to connect on it. Now, what I simply want to do is to go ahead and restart my network connections. So I could go and run that. So I'll simply type run over there. And within run, I would type ncpa for my network connection.cpl. And once I have access to that, this actually brings me to my network settings configurations. Oh, there we go. All right, so here it is. So once I have access to this section over here, I could simply go and stop this and start it again. So you can see right now that my Wi-Fi adapter option is actually enabled. So I would simply right click on that and disable. And then after that, I would right click again and enable. That should actually give me a bit of change on that particular icon over there. The other way of going about this is by making use of your command line. So there's a command line utility from your network shell that allows you to actually run this. And all you've got to do is to access your command prompt as an administrator. So I'll simply right click over there, click on administrator. So once we have access to this, we'll then have to go and access our network shell. So let's say netsh interface. State interface, we are after the Wi-Fi interface, so would say name over there, that must be equal to Wi-Fi. All right, so we'll specify that as Wi-Fi, and then once we have that in place, we'll simply go again and say admin equals disable. All right, and we press enter. So this allows us to disable that particular interface. Once it's been disabled, we'll then go back and enable it. So I'll simply run the same command, and this time around, instead of saying disable over there, I would say enable and press enter. So with that, we should be able to see some activity on our bottom right-hand side corner where our network configuration is. And if that does not work, then we might actually need to do a complete restart. Oh, there we go. There is actually an activity. And you can see that the same thing has actually impacted the wireless adapter in our network configuration settings. And this should actually come up and we should be able to have access to our internet. Just a quick test over here as it picks up. There we go. So if we go to our Google page, I think I had a page over there, and just do a test. There we go. So we now have an internet connection and everything has been restored without us going as far as restarting the entire device. So this is one of those things you simply have to go through before you can get the point of restarting the device. Restarting the device, though, is a very good practice that helps you to reset or simply give each and every service an opportunity to start correctly again. So that's it, my friend, when it comes to troubleshooting network-related errors on a single device. For now, I'll see you in the next one.